From Ball Arena here in Colorado, it is Game 2 here in Round 1 between the Los Angeles Kings and the Colorado Avalanche as we are set for fireworks once again here tonight. Colorado won Game 1 by a final score of 4-3. They dominated that game. The final score was just a one-goal game, though, so the Kings looking to answer here on the road. Natchez a shot, good block out in front, and the rebound controlled by Kopitar right away. And the Kings bring it back the other way with Kempe. Kempe circles the net, tried to send it in, out in front, and the pass goes in too far. Landeskog, the captain, will bring it up before it's taken away by Rasmus Andersson. Colorado in Game 1 went out to a 3-0 lead at one point. Natchez tried to drop it off, and nobody's home. Brock Nelson scored 2 goals in that game to start the scoring for Colorado. Didn't happen till the second period. Landeskog working with McKinnon. Taken away by Laferriere. One shot on goal to start this game. McKinnon takes this one away. Brings it back in for the Avalanche. Drops it off for Girard. A shot knocked away. And it comes into the corner. Lankinen up the takeaway. Kick save. And it stays out. Already 3 shots on goal for Colorado. Here is Kopitar, who's taken away by Lankinen from behind. Fast start back and forth. Nelson loses it to the near side. Kopitar pinned along the boards, kicks it in behind his own net. Here's a takeaway. Nelson to Olofsson, saved by Kumper. 4 shots on goal already for Colorado. Face-off here in the Kings' End, just underway from Ball Arena in Colorado. Game 2 here in Round 1. Avalanche lead the series 1-0. Clark fires short-sided and saved by Wedgwood. First shot on goal for the Kings. 2.5 minutes into this one already. 5 shots on goal, 4 of them for the Avalanche. Kings win the face-off. Armia tried to cut inside, loses it towards the corner. Burns gets there, pinned along the far half wall. Foegele escapes, cuts inside, score! Armia on the feed, and the Kings strike first here in Colorado as they break the ice early here at Ball Arena. Wedgwood, who is outstanding in that first game, gives up an early goal here. Armia right on the doorstep scores his first goal of the postseason. And the Kings are up and running here in Colorado, looking to even this series. Foegele gets the assist. Early 1-0 advantage here for Los Angeles. Not even 3 minutes in our first goal. Armia picked off by Manson on his way into the zone. Olofsson back the other way. Good defense by Edmondson on his way in. And Foegele will bring it back out to center with a penalty behind the play. Penalty is going to be called here on Colorado. Edmondson off of the blocker of Wedgwood. Foegele now floats it into the corner, and Colorado will touch it. And after the early goal for the Kings, they now go to the power play. Jack Drury is going to get called for this hit on Armia, who just scored the goal moments ago for the Kings. So cross-checking will be the call on Drury. He goes to the penalty box. And a power play upcoming here for Los Angeles, already leading 1-0. There were 5 power plays in that first game for the Kings, and they went 0 for 5 against Wedgwood. Colorado will flip it out of the zone to start the power play. Just a few minutes into this game. Looks deep into the Colorado end. Armia gets there, bobbled on the wing, kept alive. Doughty blocked down in front by Brindley, who clears. First guy to it is Nelson. He brings it in short-handed, denied on his way in. Perry walks it up for the Kings. Armia floats it towards the net. Perry down low. Loose puck comes out wide. Quentin Byfield back out to the point and Doughty to the other side. Fiala. Now Perry with it. Bobbled into the slot. Colorado gains control. Here's Brock Nelson who clears. Just under a minute to go on the man advantage here for the Kings. 0 for 5 after game 1. Here's Kelly working it through neutral ice, short-handed for Colorado. Kelly gets cut off on his way in. Drew Doughty has the puck. Hidden along the boards by Lankinen. Comes to the near side, and Fiala with 32 seconds to go on the power play. Here's Turcotte. Turcotte gets around one man, cuts inside, and Wedgwood holds his ground. 22 seconds to go on the power play. Face off here in the Colorado end. Man advantage continues. Kings win the face-off. Kuzmenko to the outside. A good save by Wedgwood. Kuzmenko still has it. Kempe couldn't get a clean shot off back behind the net. Kuzmenko back to Kempe. Walks it in on Wedgwood, who stops the puck with 5 seconds to go on the power play. Wedgwood has been outstanding on the penalty kill going back to the first game. As we mentioned, the Kings 0 for 5 in that game against Colorado. Kings scored 3 goals in game 1. They lost by a final score of 4-3. Quentin Byfield, Drew Doughty, and Anze Kopitar, the goal scorers in game 1. Clark back to neutral ice as the Avalanche kill off the penalty. Kings now 0 for 6 on the penalty going back to game 1. Picked off in center by Necas. He turns back for Colorado. Necas floats it in towards the net. McKinnon back down there. Pinned along the boards by Clark. Comes into the near side. Turcotte is there for the Kings, and they'll get it out of harm's way. Here's Clark on the outside working with Kempe. Clark flips it in on Wedgwood, who says no. 13:44 to go in the opening period. Early 1-0 lead here for the Kings in game 2 from Colorado. Avalanche trying to get it out of their own end. They will. Here's Bardakov up ahead working with Brindley, who can't handle the pass. Elenius has the puck for the Kings. Elenius tried to feed it in. Good defense from behind. Collisions in neutral ice. Mallet now flips it into the zone. Colorado will get back. 7 shots on goal here early for the Kings. 5 for Colorado as they feed it in. Flip and follow, but Ceci gets there first. Eller gets knocked down by Ceci. Kings gain control and bring it back out to center ice, where they turn it over. Burns at the red line, takes a hit. Laferriere up ahead to Fogle. Fogle waits for his friend, sends it in down low, and Kopitar was right there on the doorstep, but Wedgwood holds his ground with 12:12 to go in the opening period. And another good stop by Wedgwood, who gave up the early goal. Kings have been on the attack. Face off in the Colorado end. Kuzmenko breaks free, and Wedgwood says no again. Good stop. Kuzmenko was one-on-one with the Colorado goaltender, and Wedgwood makes the stop. 9 shots on goal already for the Kings. And another face-off coming here in the Colorado zone. Won by the Kings. Edmondson tried to send it in. Good defense from the outside. Nichushkin will walk it through neutral ice. Nichushkin splits defenders, works it in down low. Hit pass, kept alive by Burns at the line, but Turcotte with a good block. Gets it back out to center ice. Fiala takes it away. Tried to send it in. Good stick by Burns. Colorado with the puck in their own end. Lankinen up ahead to Nelson, who scored 2 goals in that first game. Lankinen broke his stick. Kuzmenko will bring it up ahead. Lankinen gets a new piece of lumber. Turcotte sends it in on Wedgwood, who never got a clean shot off. Face off again here in the Colorado end, controlled by the Avalanche. They turn it over. And then Anderson gives it up to Colton, who turns back. Colton up ahead, Olofsson. Keeps it alive after a bobble. Works it in down low, back to Colton. Colton tried to go for the wraparound. Good defense by Kopitar. Makar from distance. Score! Cale Makar with a bullet. And we're deadlocked early. Just a bullet right past Kumper. First goal of the season of the postseason for Cale Makar. 91 miles an hour from distance, sneaks it past for the equalizer. Just about halfway through this opening period, and we're tied at 1 here in Denver. Hot start to this game. 9 shots on goal for the Kings, 6 for Colorado, and we're deadlocked at 1. Ferrier feeds it in deep. Doughty there for the Kings. Ferrier will drop it back off for Anderson. Now Kopitar with it, tried to send it in. Good defense by Makar. Over halfway through this opening period. Good start here in game 2. Colton, pestered to the near side of Olofsson. Works it in down low, tried to button hook back, Pindle on the boards. Adrian Kempe gets there for the Kings. He'll bring it back out to neutral ice. Kempe cut off on his way in, feeds it in deep. And Colorado back through center. Gerard will walk it in. Poked by Doughty on his way through. Ryan Dumoulin gets to the puck. Up ahead, out in front, Fogle. Drops it off Hellenius. Denied, Wedgwood. Goes into the corner. Landeskog, the captain, gets there for Colorado. Natchez with a bobble at the red line. Here's Ryan Dumoulin. Dumoulin centering pass on the doorstep. Wedgwood holds his ground. Face-off control by the Kings. CC with a bobble. Floats it into Armia. Backhanded try knocked down off the blocker of Wedgwood. And Malinsky gains control for Colorado. Dumoulin the defense. Malinsky sends it in on Kumper, who knocks it away. And the Kings gain control. Here's Fogle through center ice. Fogle walks it in. Good stick by Malinsky. To the far corner. Bindle on the boards. Nelson picks out the loose change. Armia keeps it in the zone. Now Lincoln takes it away for Colorado. Good. Cut off by Clark to prevent the breakaway. Here's Clark. Sends it in on Wedgwood, who knocks it down. Malinsky recovers the rebound. Clark keeps it in the zone. Pressure is on here for the Kings. Nichushkin, good defense. Big hit. Floats it deeper into the zone. Kings keep it in the zone before flipped out. Here's Lankinen. Lankinen center. Nichushkin. Score! Valeri Nichushkin gives Colorado an early 2-1 lead on the feed on the way down the length of the ice. First goal of the postseason for Nichushkin. And fireworks to start this game here in Colorado. Off the inside of the post and in for Nichushkin. And what a start here at Ball Arena. Turco pestered on his way into the zone. Helly turns back here for Colorado. 2-1 Avalanche here early in this game. Fiala walks it in here for the Kings. Picked off on his way through. Here's Brindley. Turns back and feeds it in around the boards. First guy to it is Bardakov. Bardakov down low. Tried to send it in out in front. Edmondson there for the Kings. Here's Kuzmenko. Back to Edmondson, who bobbles and turns it over. Kelly back the other way. Feeds it in again. 13 shots on goal for the Kings. 8 for Colorado. It took us all the way into the second period before we got our first goal in game 1. Already fireworks here in the first. Hellenius off a body. Comes into the corner. Kuzmenko gets there for the Kings. Floats back out to Kelly for Colorado. Avalanche can't get it out, and now they do to Landeskog, who takes ahead. Keeps it alive, though. Comes to the near side, and Kelly. Kelly walks it in, sends it in on Kumper, who says no. He was looking for the rebound opportunity, but Kumper gloves it down with just under 5 to play here in this opening period. It was scoreless after 1 in Game 1. Already 3 goals here in the opening period here in Game 2. Makar. Girard on the point, back to Makar. Fires a shot off a body. Loose puck in the slot. Colton denied by Kumper. Goes in back behind the net. Kings will get it out. Big hit. Bodies flying everywhere. Olofsson walks it back in. Back to Colton. Colton charges the net, and Kumper says no. 4:16 to go in the opening period. Just over 4 minutes to go, opening period. 2-1 lead for Colorado. Kempe whiffed. Gets it back. Kempe off a body in front. Never got through to Olofsson. Drury, good defense. Pindle on the boards. Kicked back out, kept alive, and a penalty. This one on the Kings. Holding is going to be the call, and it's Adrian Kempe who's the guilty party. And Colorado is going to get a man advantage here. So Kempe to the box for 2 minutes. Power play, first of the night here for the Avalanche as they look to extend their lead. 3 power plays in Game 1 for Colorado. They went 0 for 3. McKinnon fires, save, Kumper, rebound, Lincoln, and back behind. Out in front, Landeskog still loose and controlled by the Kings, who clear. There were 8 total power plays in Game 1. Both of these teams combined went 0 for 8. Kings went 0 for 5. And Colorado went 0 for 3. Natchez scored! It's a power play goal for Natchez. And it's 3-1, Colorado. Fireworks in the opening period. 3 goals for Colorado, and they lead 3-1. Power play goal for the first time in the series. Looks of displeasure from the Kings bench. 3-1 Colorado. McKinnon gets the assist. And a power play goal gives them a 2-goal lead, offsides on Los Angeles. What up, Switzerland? Natchez walks it back in. Fires a shot off a skate out in front. Ryan Dumoulin got a piece of it. Under 3 minutes to go in the opening period. Already a 3-1 Colorado lead. Natchez, good defense, takes it away. Tried to center himself to the inside. Good recovery by Ceci. Here's Armia, who scored the only goal for the Kings so far. Walks it in. Pestered on his way through into the slot, and Wedgwood holds his ground. Face-off controlled by Colorado. Lankin encircles his own net. Kopitar takes it away, flips it in deep to the zone. And Colorado able to escape. Lankinen will walk it up. Kings back, numbers for Los Angeles. Lankinen drops it off Nichushkin. Off a body in front, never got through. Under 2 minutes to go in the opening period. Errant pass controlled by Colorado. Worked in deeper into the zone. Malinsky with a bobble. Kept in the zone by the Kings for the moment. Worked into the corner. Big hit by Kempe. Out in front, picked off by Nelson. Kings keep it alive. Kopitar flings it wide of the net. Kopitar down low, out in front. Leferrier, what a stop by Wedgwood. With 1:01 to go, Wedgwood keeps it out. Beautiful save by Scott Wedgwood. Keeps it a 2-goal game with just over a minute to go in the opening period. Face-off coming here in the Avalanche zone. 1 minute to go in the period. Kings win the face-off. Fiala can't handle it. Back behind for McCaw. Avalanche working in their own end, and now out to Brindley. Flips it in deep. Deflects towards the net. That was dangerous, but it went all the way through. "27 seconds to go in the period. Colorado takes it away. Here's Kelly. Centering pass. Gerard down low. Barnikov just wide of the net. Overskated it just a touch. Kelly circles back and loses the puck on his way in. Final 5 seconds of the period. One final attack if they hurry. Kuzmenko floats it in on Wedgwood, who knocks it down, and that'll do it for the opening period. Fireworks from Colorado to start, and a 3-1 lead for the Avalanche in Game 2. Start of the second period here from All Arena in Colorado. A 2-goal lead for the Avalanche. Fireworks in that opening period makes way to what should be an entertaining second. And we are back underway with the Kings winning the initial faceoff. Leferrier drops it off for Kopitar. Floats it into the corner. McCarr wins the race for the puck. Landeskog with a penalty called here. This one's going to be on Los Angeles early in the second. Natchez cuts in, denied by Kumper. And a power play upcoming for Colorado. Another hold, this time on Leferrier. Another one pinned along the boards. Landeskog couldn't escape. Leferrier called for the hold and a power play for the Avalanche, and they scored on their previous one. One for one today, 1 for 4 in the series for Colorado on the man advantage. They win the faceoff. Burns sends it in off a body. Over to Burns again. Army a good defense. Burns keeps it alive. To the other side of Lofson. Colton tried to spin and fire. Loose puck in the slot. Brock Nelson is in there. Colton is in there. It goes out wide. Armia gains control for the Kings, and he flips it down. Just over a minute gone by here in the second. Power play here for Colorado. Brock Nelson, who scored 2 goals in Game 1, drops it off for Colton, who can't handle. Back out to center it comes. Burns brings it back in. Centering pass disrupted. Nelson couldn't get a clean one off, and Kumper finds the loose change. .107 to go on the power play. Face off here in the Kings' end, controlled by Los Angeles. Perry will walk it through neutral ice. Kings will bring it up shorthanded. Perry loses it on his way in. Burns gains control off the boards to Colton. Colton will walk it up ahead, drops it off for Nelson. Fires off a body. Ran in on the doorstep, poked away by Kumper, and the Kings will clear the zone once more. Back to get it is McKinnon. Brock Nelson now with the puck. Offside, Colorado. 27 seconds to play. Face-off in neutral ice controlled by the Kings. They send it down. McKinnon gets to it. One final push here on this penalty. Here for Colorado. Natchez will walk it in. Outside Landeskog sends it in. Natchez denied by Comfort. And he sprawls out to save the puck. My goodness. 5 seconds to go on the power play, and what a stop that was. Face-off controlled by the Kings. They will kill off this penalty. So Colorado now 1 for 2 on the power play. McKinnon loses it. Good defense by Byfield. Tried to send it in out in front, and Makar was right there. Here he comes with a head of steam. Centering pass disrupted, and Kopitar turns back. Kopitar walks it in, takes it in on Wedgwood, who says no. 3-lane for Kopitar. Wedgwood holds his ground, keeps it a 2-goal game. Face-off control by the Kings. Dumoulin knocked down by Wedgwood. Bardakov back out to center ice. He takes a hit. Here's Kelly outside to Brindley. Back to Kelly, who bobbles on his way through. Defense by Ceci. Kelly, Bardakov knocked down, and it goes back behind. What up, Switzerland? Kings back out to center ice. Armia with a bobble. Sends it in on Wedgwood, who knocks it down. Just under 4 minutes gone by here in the second. Still a 2-goal Colorado lead. Here's a turnover. Hellenius to Clark. Fires a shot off a body, tipped around into the slot. Hack and whack in the middle. Wedgwood knocks it down, and Malinsky recovers the rebound. Another good look for the Kings. Can't answer. Here's Bardakov on the other end. Drops it off for Malinsky. Knocked away by Comfort. Rebound controlled by the Kings. Hellenius with a hit in front of the benches. Colorado gains control in their own end. Colton through neutral ice. Pestered across the red line. Landeskog floats it in deeper into the zone. Back to Colton. Drops it off to Drury, who can't handle it. And it comes back out to center. Just over 5 minutes gone by here in the second. 2-goal lead for the Avalanche. Colton overskates that one, and it goes into the grasp of Clark. Kings gain control in their own end. Here's a takeaway. Colton off of Kumper's blocker. Goes into the corner. Olofsson sends it all the way back down. Errant pass on Wedgwood. Feeds it up to Burns. Burns pestered in his own end. McKinnon will bring it out. McKinnon cuts inside. Drops it off Drury. Denied Kumper. Rebound McKinnon. Goes wide of the net. Olofsson goes into the corner. Battle for it along the far half wall. Turco there for the Kings, and they get it out. McKinnon was eyeing his first goal of the playoffs. Edmondson on the other end. Tried to drop it off. Good defense. Looks back out towards the point and out of the zone. Ryan Dumoulin will backtrack. Kempe will bring it back in. Turco now fires a shot saved by Wedgwood. Natchez pestered, but Makar will get it out. Here is Landeskog. He's pestered by Ryan Dumoulin. LaFerriere to the other side, and Kempe. Kempe up to Turcotte, who can't handle. Landeskog in neutral ice, taken away by Kempe. Ceci rather was there defensively. Brindley now has it for Colorado. Here's Landeskog. Avs work it in neutral ice. Just under 8 minutes gone by here in the period. No goals here in the second to this point. After a 4-goal first period, 3 by Colorado. Natchez takes it away. Landeskog fires, knocked down, rebound. Never got through. Brindley in back behind the net. Good defense by Dumoulin. And the Kings will bring it back out. LaFerriere can't handle. Makar has the puck. Here's the captain, Landeskog. Shielded on his way in. Drops it off for Brindley. Tried to send it in. And it's picked off by Ceci. Adrian Kempe bobbles on his way through neutral ice. Colorado gains control. Landeskog brings it in. Whiffed on the shot. Sends it in back behind the net. Ryan Dumoulin there working with Natchez. And LaFerriere back out to center ice. Long time without a whistle here. As we work it through neutral ice again, here's McCarr. McCarr to Natchez, a shot knocked down by Kumper. McCarr into the corner. Natchez able to pick out the loose change. Good defense again by Ryan Dumoulin. Dumoulin's been all over the place on this turn for the Kings. Here's Kempe, knocked down by Wedgwood. Lankinen back out to center and Landeskog. Walks it in. Landeskog feeds it in deep. Back for Lankinen, out in front. Knocked down by Kumper. And Turco back to center ice as we are halfway through this second period. McCarr with another takeaway. Bodies flying everywhere. Here's Nathan MacKinnon. Drops it off Lankinen. Down the doorstep. Denied. Kumper just wide of the net. Kelly on in front. MacKinnon stopped by Kumper once more. And finally a whistle with 9:40 to go in the period. Faceoff kind of sits on the dot for a moment. And Kuzmenko will get it out of the zone. Feeds it in deep for the Kings. Fiala feeds it in deep, circles the boards. Penalty's going to be called here. This one's on the Kings. Or excuse me, on Colorado rather, and it's another hold. This time it's on Nichushkin. So these officials have now called 3 holds in this game, and this one on Colorado. And a power play upcoming here for the Kings to try to get back in this game. So Nichushkin, who has a goal in this game, will go to the penalty box, and a power play upcoming here for Los Angeles. 0 for 1 on the night on the power play. Face-off control by the Kings. Fiala just wide of the net. And Colorado clears the zone. Fiala hit hard in the trapezoid. Lankinen working it up ahead. Good defense. Lankinen back to Malinsky. Floats it in deep. And the Kings are there for it. Here's Drew Doughty through center ice. Quentin Byfield now. Tried to cut inside. Good defense by Girard. Kempe recovers the loose change in neutral ice. Lankinen grabs the puck and flips it down. Just over a minute to go on the man advantage here for the Kings. They trail by 2. Kuzmenko gloved down by Wedgwood. 1:01 to go on the power play. Still a 2-goal lead for Colorado. Face-off here in the Avalanche end, controlled by the Kings. Clark wide off of Wedgwood. Kopitar back behind. Kuzmenko on the wing. Good pick of the pocket by Manson, and it floats back out to center ice. Clark Pindle on the boards. Kopitar back into the zone. Taken away by McCarr, who clears for Colorado. .24 seconds to go on the power play here for the Kings. Adrian Kempe taken off his stick by Drury. And Colorado clears once more. This penalty kill unit has been outstanding for Colorado in this series so far. 5 seconds left. Fogle will bring it up. Dangles to the inside. Wedgwood the save. The rebound in the air. Deflects wide. Back to full strength Colorado. Battle for it along the near boards. MacKinnon escapes the pack with it. Nathan MacKinnon drops it off for McCarr. Off a body. Natchez on the doorstep. Denied by Kumper. Comes back out wide, and Fogle will bring it out. Just under 6.5 to go in the period. No goals here in the second. Here's MacKinnon. Walks it in. Kumper says no. 6:14 to go in the period. Face-off control by Colorado. A shot from distance. Kumper sprawls out. Another stoppage. 6:08 to go here in the period. Still a 2-goal lead for Colorado. All 4 of our goals were scored in the first. Face-off sits on the dot. Controlled by Colorado. A bobble on the point, and they have to backtrack. Malinsky brings it back in. Button hooks back. Solovyov inside Nelson whiffed. Good defense by Drew Doughty. And here come the Kings back the other way. Doughty brings it in, drops it off for Fogle, fires a shot off a body. Malinsky was there out in front of the net. Here's Nichushkin, out in front of one man. Nichushkin cuts inside, good defense by Rasmus Andersson. Fogle brings it in, drops it off for Turco, fires a shot off a body, good defense. Fogle, back out to the point, Doughty, sends it in, tip try, goes wide. Kopitar now back behind. On the wing, Turco bobbles. Back out to the point, and Doughty sends it in. Another tip try, never got through. And Bardakov will bring it back out for Colorado. Nelson, back to Bardakov. Good defense by Doughty. Armia, who scored a goal for the Kings. Nichushkin takes it away. The captain, Landeskog. Nichushkin with a bobble. Turns it over to Kopitar. Gerard now has it for Colorado. Here's Landeskog. Landeskog cuts inside. Nelson denied by Kumper. Nelson gets free out to the point. One-timer Gerard knocked down by Kumper again. Edmondson gains control, and here's Kopitar through center ice. Kopitar with a bobble into the slot, floats back out to neutral zone. Chased down by Anderson, pestered by Landeskog. Kuzmenko back out to neutral ice and Armia. Armia pestered by Landeskog. Armia sends it in on Wedgwood. Easy save with 2:59 to go. Face-off control by the Kings. Perry sends it in on Wedgwood. Another good stop. 2:55 to go in the period. "30 shots on goal for the King, 27 for Colorado. The Avalanche lead by 2. As we're under 3 minutes to go in the period. Colton tried to feed it in inside, and a good save by Kumper. Colton out in front, a whiff. Still loose in the slot, and the Kings will get it out. Here's Mallet. Mallet walks it in, centering pass, picked off by Colton, goes just wide of the net. Burns now back behind. Manson gains control, and Colorado back out to center. Here's Olofsson. Olofsson cuts inside, and Kumper says no. 2:03 to go in the period. Face-off control by the Kings. Kempe with a bobble through neutral ice, loses it as it floats in on net. Watch out, Kempe just overskated it. Goes into the corner. Bardakov there for Colorado, pinned to the boards by Kopitar, kept alive by Edmondson for a moment. Comes back out to center ice. Clark will backtrack. Just under 90 seconds to go in the period. Laferriere knocked down by Bardakov, who takes it away for Colorado. Here's Kelly down the slot, sends it in on Kumper, who says no once more. With 1:07 to go in the period, we are deadlocked on shots on goal at 30 apiece, but a 2-goal lead for Colorado. Face-off control by the Kings. Adrian Kempe, now Laferriere with it. Laferriere to Kopitar. Knuckler on Wedgwood, who says no. Under a minute to go in the period. Natchez picked up by Kempe. Pinned along the boards in front of the Avalanche bench. Natchez will walk it in. Whiffed on the shot, good defense. McKinnon now off of Kumper. Edmondson battling defensively for the Kings. He takes it away. 13 seconds to go in the period. Quentin Byfield drops it off. McKinnon with the pickoff. Byfield wide of the net with 5 seconds to go. Gerard gets there. Back out to neutral ice it comes. And that is how the second period will come to a close. 4 goals in the first. None in the second. The defense shows strong in the middle period. To the third we go. 2-goal lead for Colorado. Start of the third and final period here from Colorado. The Avalanche 20 minutes away from taking a 2-0 series lead. No goals in the second. We're deadlocked at 31 shots on goal for either side. And the third period underway with Colorado leading by 2. Anderson will bring it in here for the Kings. Send it in on Wedgwood from distance. Knocks it away easily. Ferrier pinned along the boards. McCarr there for Colorado. Floats back out for McKinnon. Landeskog, the captain, will bring it up. Sends it in on Kumper, who says no. Stoppage early here in the third. Just trading shots on goal right now. We're tied at 32 in that category. But Colorado maintains a 2-goal lead going back to the first period, where all 4 of our goals in this game were scored in that opening period, none in the second. Wedgwood has been very good in between the pipes for Colorado tonight. Face-off controlled by the Kings. Colorado looking for an insurance. Kings looking for some life. Anderson with a bobble. Inside Kopitar, denied by Wedgwood. 59 seconds gone by here in the third, and we're picking up right where we left off. Fireworks down the length of the ice on both sides. Face-off controlled by Colorado. Gerard across the red line. Gerard pestered on his way in. Armia, good defense by the Kings. Here's Fogle. Fogle tried to send it in. Good stick. Loose puck in on Wedgwood, and he kicks it away. Face-off controlled by Colorado in their own end. Kept in the zone by Clark. Here's Armia. Fogle in the slot. Back out to Edmondson. One pass too many. And here's Nichushkin back the other way for Colorado. Nichushkin ahead of the pack. Denied by Kumper. Another beautiful save by Kumper this time. And we'll get a face-off here in the Kings' end. Kuzmenko will bring it into the zone here for Los Angeles. Flip it in wide of the net. Back behind. Burns gets there for Colorado. Here's Olofsson through center ice. Bolton now with it. Pestered but kept alive by Olofsson. Olofsson back out to the point. Manson score! Josh Manson lets it fly, and Colorado has a 3-goal lead here in the third period. Just a bullet past Kumper. Sends it in from the point, and it just found the open side. 3-goal lead for Colorado here in the third. 4-1 our score. First goal since the first period in this game. And it comes on the 34th shot on goal for Colorado. Ceci and the Kings looking for an answer as he brings it in. Ceci drops it off. Mallet, a shot denied by Wedgwood. Three minutes gone by here in the third. Shots on goal is even. Ceci wide of the net. Wedgwood might have gotten a piece of it. Dumoulin now sends it in. Wedgwood another same penalty call. This one on Colorado. Dumoulin off a body. Comes to the near side. Kept alive by Hellenius. Extra skater in. Broken stick by Ceci. Off the boards to Mallet. Mallet down low. Knocked down. Keeps it alive. Dumoulin tip drive. Knocked down by Wedgwood. And finally a whistle. Sam Malinsky, another hold. And a power play upcoming here for the Kings, down by 3, looking to get back in this game. And Malinsky is not happy. Face-off control by the Kings. Doughty's shot knocked down by Wedgwood. Kempe keeps it alive. Kopitar, Fiala, back to Kempe. Doughty now, score! Drew Doughty puts it in. It's a power play goal for the Kings. And they're back in this game down by 2 as Drew Doughty gets it past Wedgwood. So that'll quiet this crowd for a moment. Second goal on Wedgwood. First power play goal of the series for the Kings, as they try to claw their way back into this game. 4-2 now our score. So after not having any goals in the second period, we've already had 2 in the first 3:52 of the third. And a power play goal for the Kings, the latest. Lankinen's offsides here for Colorado. Whistle with 15:38 to go here in the third. Kings out shooting Colorado now 39-34. McKinnon will try to feed it to the outside. Good stick by Anderson. Here's LaFerriere. LaFerriere pestered on his way in by McCarr, who takes it away. Here's Nathan McKinnon. Still searching for his first goal of the playoffs. McKinnon out in front. Girard takes it in. What a goal! Samuel Girard on a beauty. And Colorado back up by 3. Just drug it to his right side, and a beautiful backhand flip past Cumper. Look at this, a thing of beauty. The drag, the backhand. 5-2 Colorado. 3 goals in the first 4:53 of this third period. Armia walks it in. Byfield can't handle. Landeskog turns back. Here's the captain. Landeskog drops it off for Burns. A shot knocked down by Comfort. Rebound control by Anderson. Kept alive by McKinnon. Natchez on the point. Good defense by Armia. Taken away though by Landeskog. McKinnon tried to load up. Good defense. Kings gain control down by 3. Landeskog, good defense and neutralized. Turned back by Byfield. Byfield sends it in. Overskated by Fogle. Edmondson. Good block out in front by Nichushkin. And here he comes. Nichushkin tried to feed it in. Takes it in on Kumper. Knocks it away. Loose puck into the slot controlled by the Kings. Fogle. Byfield. Back to Fogle. A shot knocked down by Wedgwood. Fogle back out. One-timer. Edmondson gloved down by Wedgwood. Face-off control by the Kings. Clark on the point. Squares it up. Wedgwood knocks it down, and the rebound controlled by Colorado. Here's Colton back through center ice. Picked off by Fiala. Kuzmenko brings it in. Drops it off for Turcotte. A shot. Sticked aside by Wedgwood. Kuzmenko to the point, and Clark. Now Edmondson squares it up. Wide of the net. Controlled by Colorado. Malinsky takes a hit. Out of the zone. Kings have to tag up. Fiala gains control. Kuzmenko can't bring it in. Now he does. Kuzmenko sends it in. Easy stick save by Wedgwood. Malinsky into the corner. 12 minutes to go here in the third. 3-goal lead for Colorado in game 2. Avalanche lead the series 1-0. Nichushkin denied off a body. Kept alive on the point by Manson. Inside off the post. And it goes to the far side. Kept alive by Nichushkin. Bardakov, who hit the post a moment ago, can't handle. And Laferriere back out to center ice. Here's Laferriere. Fires short-sided, and Wedgwood holds his ground. Faceoff controlled by the Avalanche. Kings take it away. On the point, Dumoulin walks it in. Denied. Wedgwood sprawls out. Makar gains control, and Colorado clears the zone. Here's Lankinen. Flips it in deep back behind the net. Ceci there for the Kings. Nelson in on the doorstep. Dumoulin gains the loose change in the slot. Hellenius flips it in on Wedgwood, who knocks it down. Into the corner, Nelson Pindle on the boards. Back behind for Mallet. Mallet pinned there by Girard. And Colorado escapes the pack. Nichushkin through center ice. Just about halfway through this third period here in a 3-goal Colorado lead, looking to take a 2-0 series lead. Hellenius walks it in, fires a shot, he got tripped. And a penalty is going to be called here on Colorado. And the third power play of the night on the way here for Los Angeles. So Sam Girard gets tripped as he lets it fly on Wedgwood. Girard lost control of his stick, and a power play upcoming here for the Kings. They scored on their previous one. Trying to make it a 2-goal game again. Faceoff controlled by Colorado. Drury flips it in down the length of the ice. Avalanche playing aggressive here on this penalty kill, bringing it up short-handed, but the Kings take over. Here is Kuzmenko. Centering pass, score! Oh, what a goal! Adrian Kempe puts it in. It's another power play goal for the Kings, and they're back within 2. What a feed from the outside. Right on the doorstep was Adrian Kempe. And the Kings aren't going away quietly. Shades of game 1 where Colorado was out to a 3-0 lead. Final score ended up being 4-3. As the Kings tried to come back in that one, came up just short. Natchez to Landeskog, the captain. Tried to send it in. Goes in back behind the net where the Kings take over. Under 9 minutes to go here in regulation. Kopitar, Laferriere, outside Kempe. With stick, Laferriere to the point and Anderson. Now Doughty with a bobble has to backtrack. Flips it in deep for the Kings. Natchez up ahead to Brindley, who brings it into the zone. Off a skate out in front. Brindley back behind the net, working with Anderson. Out in front! Oh, a diving attempt knocked down by Kumper. And Doughty will bring it back out here for the Kings. Doughty, Turco. Tried to send it in. Good defense by Makar. Olofsson takes a hit. Brindley now back the other way. Good defense by Anderson. Brindley flips it into the corner. There is Olofsson. Brindley denied by Kumper. Goes out wide. Brindley with Kelly getting knocked down. Big collisions happening on both ends of the ice. Kuzmenko back out to center and Kopitar. Kopitar can't handle. Kelly takes control. Here's Brindley. Brindley takes a hit. Turcotte now can't handle. And Kelly flips it into the zone. Kumper settles it down back behind the cage. Here's Kuzmenko. Kuzmenko centering Turcotte, couldn't handle. Olofsson takes it away from behind. 6.5 to go in regulation. 2-goal lead for Colorado. Here's Turcotte. Takes it in and denied by Wedgwood. Goes into the corner. Turcotte, Fogle, denied again by Wedgwood. Into the trapezoid. Makar pesters into the near side. Kuzmenko keeps it alive. On the point, Edmondson fires a shot. Tip try, and Wedgwood says no. 5:59 to go in the third. Wedgwood, brick wall for Colorado when it matters most. Giving up a couple goals, but it's the playoffs. And he has made the most of it. Kings are out shooting Colorado 52-39, but Colorado still leads by 2. Ceci off of Bonnie. Back out to Ceci, into the slot, loose puck controlled by Colorado. Brindley picked off by Fogle in center ice. Quentin Byfield will walk it in. Tried to cut inside, Fogle picks up the loose change, back out to the point and Dumoulin. Now Ceci, denied Wedgwood, rebound, goes out wide. Drury gets there for Colorado. Drury pestered on his way in by Ryan Dumoulin, who has been all over the place defensively for the Kings. Warren Fogle. Ryan Dumoulin comes in wide. Dumoulin into the slot, a bobble in on Wedgwood, and he stops play. 4:48 to go in regulation. Kings running out of time. Here's Adrian Kempe. He's been all over the place for the Kings. He scored a goal earlier in this third on a power play. He's doing his best to try to keep the Kings in this game. They're down by 2 here in the late stages of the third, and the Kings trying to mount a comeback. Here was that beautiful goal on the power play on a beautiful feed from Kuzmenko. But Adrian Kempe and the Kings trail by 2 and are 4:48 away from going down 2-0 in the series. Kings keep it alive. On the point, it's Edmondson. On the blue line, tipped up in the air. Goes into the corner. Lincoln in there for Colorado, and they'll get it out. Up ahead, Nichushkin. Nichushkin works it in down low. Circles the net. Out in front, he tried to feed. Good defense by Edmondson. Penalty's going to be called here. Another one. This one on Colorado again. And it's going to be another hold. So a huge power play upcoming here for the Kings as they try to make it a 1-goal game now. Another hold against the boards. Arturi Lankinen is the guilty party. And these officials not letting these players grab on. So another power play here for Los Angeles as they try to cut the deficit to 1 goal. Face-off control by the Kings. Fiala, a bobble in the slot, makes way to Natchez, who clears the zone. Flag down by Fiala. Flips it in deep into the zone. Kept alive by Fiala on the point, sends it in. Armia got in the way, and Colorado clears all the way down. 3.5 to go in this game. 2-goal lead for Colorado. A power play here for the Kings. Herring walks it in. Centers to Doughty. A shot. Knocked down off a body. Fiala now in the corner. Pestered by Bardakov. Floats back out to Drury. And he clears. Under a minute to go on the power play. 3 minutes to go in the game. Kempe keeps it alive. Here's Kopitar. Back to Kempe. Score! Oh, what a goal! Adrian Kempe for the second time. And it's a 1-goal game here in Colorado. The Kings are not dead. They will not go away. And Adrian Kempe scores his second power play goal in this third period, putting the Kings on his back to try to mount the comeback. A pump of the fist from the Kings bench. Not dead yet here in game 2. 1-goal game. 2:52 left. And we've got fireworks here for the next couple minutes. Here we go. Kings take over. Here's Kempe. The hot hand for the Kings. Fires it in on Wedgwood. Faceoff controlled by Colorado. Up ahead, Natchez. Natchez cut off on his way in by Edmondson. Just over 2 minutes to go here in the game. Adrian Kempe fires it on Wedgwood, who swats it away. LaFerriere pins McCarr against the boards. Kept alive by Kempe. McKinnon there defensively for the Avalanche. Under 2 minutes to go. Landeskog, the captain, brings it in. Drops it off McCarr. A shot off a body. Landeskog back out to the point. Manson off the far boards to Natchez. McCarr inside Manson. Denied by Kumper. The rebound. Kumper sends no once more with 1:29 to go. Minute 29 left. Face off in the Kings' end, down by 1. Controlled by Colorado. Burns sends it in. Knocked down. Rebound just wide by McKinnon. Goes into the corner. Back behind the net. CC gains control for the Kings. Just over a minute to go. Watch out for Kumper to empty the net. Fiala walks it in. Turco denied Wedgwood. 1 minute to go. And Kumper remains in his cage for the moment. One minute to play. Face-off controlled by the Kings. CC. Backhanded attempt denied Wedgwood. And Kumper remains in the box, in the cage for the moment, as we're just under a minute to go. Kings trying to mount the comeback. They were down by as many as 3 a couple times. Face-off controlled by the Avalanche. Manson walks it up the far side. Manson. Inside. Kumper stops the puck. 46 seconds to play. Face-off control by the Avalanche. McCarr knocked down by Kumper. Rebound Anderson. Drury keeps it in the zone though. Holds it. Denied Kumper again. Back behind. Kings running out of time. We're down to 34 seconds. Holds it. Outside McCarr. Picked off by Perry. And here come the Kings. Empty net. Here for Los Angeles. Olofsson turns back here for Colorado. Off a body. Goes back behind. 20 seconds to go. Olofsson scores! There's the dagger. Colorado leads by 2 in the final seconds. And the Avalanche are 20 seconds away from taking a 2-0 series lead on the road to Los Angeles. 6-4 the score. And the comeback effort for the second straight game will fall short for the Kings. Brindley walks it in, sends it in on Kumper, who stops play. No, he keeps it going. 6 seconds to go in the game. Bardakov gains control. Final shot, he got tripped, doesn't matter. 1 second left. And Colorado's going to take a 2-0 series lead in this series. Clark will sit for 1 second in the penalty box. We're going to face off, and that's all she wrote. The Colorado Avalanche take a 2-0 series lead as they hang on for the second straight game against the Kings. Another 1 goal differential late. But then the empty netter gave them a 6-4 victory. Wedgwood did his job in between the pipes. And Colorado, the best team in the regular season across the NHL, has a 2-0 series lead over the Kings here in round 1. What a game this was. Adrian Kempe did all he could for the Kings to try to keep him in. Comeback effort falls just short. And Colorado, a 6-4 win here over the Kings at home. Take complete control of this series here in the first round. What a game from Colorado. What a series to start. The Avalanche have a 2-0 series lead as we say goodnight from Ball Arena.